Listen, you probably already know that cutting the low end on the majority of the instruments of a song is essential to bring life to a mix. But chances are you're doing it wrong. I have a degree in music and acoustic engineering, and today I will show you how to manage the low end of a song properly so that your mixes can actually sound professional. Let's get to the point. Now, before I show you what mistake you're likely doing, I need you to listen to this. Now, this is the bass for the track that you're going to listen now. And I want you to hear the difference before the fifth bar and after the fifth bar, okay? As you could hear, in the second part of the track, the bass was just a little more recognizable, a little bit clear, okay? That's what we want. In fact, in the second part, there was a low-end treatment for the majority of the instrument, while for everything before the fifth bar, there was no low-end treatment. And in fact, you could hear it was a bit muddy and it was a bit messy, okay? So now we have understood that by treating the low end, we actually get some sounds that are more recognizable and more tight. So we want this, okay? Also, when we will add the vocals and the other sound effects to the track, things will become even richer and fuller. So it's easy for them to become also messy. So we want to keep the things polished. Now let's get to the mistake I really wanted to show you. The majority of the producer tweak the low end in this way. So they just take a filter, place it at 100 Hz, and press this button. And well, that's not enough. That's really not enough. Why? Well, for three reasons. The first one is that we have no attenuation at 100 Hz. Now, let me allow you to listen what 100 Hz sounds like. This is a bass frequency. If you have a piano, it shouldn't have this frequency. This is reserved for the bass, okay? So you want to get rid of this frequency. If you have a piano that at 100 Hz has the same volume of the other frequencies, it will clash inevitably with the bass, and that's a problem, okay? So this is the first point. Second point, this pole here attenuates by 12 dB per octave. This means that at 50 Hz we have an attenuation of 12 dB, okay? 50 Hz is a really low frequency. The majority of the headphones and of the monitors do not reach 50 Hz of frequency, okay? So I want you to hear what a 12 dB attenuation really sounds like. Now, this is a piano at full volume, okay? Let's make the tweak and put it 12 dBs lower. Now, of course, it's quieter, but you can still hear this. So the phasing issues will be still present, okay? So 12 dBs are not enough. And this is at 50 Hz, which is a very low frequency. So if you take, for example, 75 Hz, you have just a 6 dB attenuation, which sounds like this. It's not much, you know? It will clash with the bass and with the drums. Third point, you're not actually hindering the bass only. You are also affecting the drums. So if you do not treat the low end in the proper way, your kicks will be much less present. What I suggest you is to select this pole and to position it somewhere like this, okay? In this way, you already have a 12 dBs attenuation at 100 Hz, which you listened to before, and you know that is a low frequency. So anything lower than 100 Hz will become completely silent, basically. This is the way you should treat the low end. These subtle tweaks make a huge difference in the sounds. In fact, I want you to listen to this. Now, in the first part of the track, you will hear two sounds. One is a bass and the other one is a piano. And you will not be able to listen to the two sounds at the same time. While after the fifth bar, you will be able to listen to the piano and the bass at the same time. Like I told you, it's subtle, but it really makes a difference. It makes the music so much more listenable. It's not a tiring experience, okay? Now this was made with only piano and bass, but imagine having a whole track with a lot of instruments playing on top of each other. Now these are the differences that really matter, okay? This is the difference between an amateur sound and a professional sound. If you want more music production tips that are not just trivial and not surface level, you can check out this video in which I explain how to make your synthesizer and guitars sound huge. But first, subscribe to the channel so that you can level up your sound with non-trivial techniques that are actually useful. Thank you.